Hello guys, welcome back to Osteodose. I'm Dr. Nikita.
Namaste, my name is Dr. Gurpreet.
So today we have decided to make a video on Zoom recording because we have received a lot of questions via email and बहुत से लोगों ने comment section में भी बहुत सारे questions पूछे थे about osteopathy. So we just thought that we'll come together and answer the most frequently asked questions. So we have picked few questions among this.
थैंक यू गाइस इतना प्यार देने के लिए. ये हमें मोटिवेट करता है और भी वीडियोस बनाने के लिए और भी काम करने के लिए. सो थैंक यू सो मच.
Okay, so let's start, Gurpreet. So our first question is, who are osteopaths and what they can do for us? Osteopaths कौन है और वो हमारे लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? So what is your take on that?
Yeah. So osteopaths are basically ऐसे health practitioners होते हैं जो सिर्फ हाथों की मदद से without any medicine लोगों को treat करते हैं. So they basically have the thorough knowledge of anatomy, physiology and the pathology, and they have the vast training of hand perception. So with the hands only they can help your body to fight against diseases and to help the health to grow inside you. So what they can do for you, okay, if you visit a doctor, osteopath, so they will examine you thoroughly, take your history, family history, your birth history and everything related to the disease and the previous history. So after that they will examine you with their hands head to toe. And then based on both the examination and the history, they will provide a treatment on the root cause. Mainly they focus on the root cause, not just the symptoms, which is a very interesting part. So yeah, by treating root cause, they will actually focus on the cause of the disease mainly, and thus helps the health to grow inside your body and provide you good quality of life. Yeah.
Gurpreet, ये भी question हमें काफी बार मिला है. What all conditions we treat in osteopathy?
Yeah, very commonly asked, no? Joint pains and body stiffness is the most common. Migraine and headache, sinusitis, chronic stress, hormonal issues like PCOD, thyroid, diabetes at certain extent, hypertension, patients of hypertension, pediatric problems like ADHD, autism, developmental delays. Yeah. Most visceral complaints also. Pregnancy and its related complications, like after pregnancy you have
Back pain, which is very
depression, back pain, sciatica after pregnancy. It's most common, no? Degenerative disorders like arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis most commonly.
Spondylitis.
Inflammation in the body joints, spondylitis, yes. Immunological related issues also. Osteopathy works wonderful for immune system, no? Sports injuries very
I think
osteopathy works very wonderful.
Yeah. Also post-traumatic cases, emotional stress, depression cases we treat.
Yeah.
Vertigo we treat.
Yeah.
Like many problems actually. Many.
So in my understanding, osteopathy is basically treating the patient at all the levels, like physical, emotional, mental and spiritual level. So it creates a very dynamic shift in the body. Yeah. So Nikita, ये question हमें बहुत बार पूछा गया है. What is the scope of osteopathy in India? हमें पता है कि osteopathy इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा न्यू है, पर फॉरेन कंट्रीज में ये काफी टाइम से प्रैक्टिस किया गया है. वहाँ पे ये फुली ग्रोन प्रोफेशन है. सो व्हाट इज योर टेक, like what is the scope of osteopathy according to you in India?
Yeah, this is very frequently asked question. Actually, हम कहीं पे भी जाए हमें पूछा ही जाता है, since it is very new in India and still growing. So we have a open field actually. We can do freelancing, we can start our own clinic, we can get associated with hospitals. जैसे हमारे seniors है, they are doing really good actually in India. जैसे Dr. Himanshu है, he has his clinic White Elephant in Bangalore. We have Dr. Sanket's clinic, Sufal clinic in Akola. Dr. Sia, Dr. Gayatri, Dr. Pranoti, they are associated with hospital. They are successfully practicing there. हमारे थोड़े seniors हैं, they have joined as professors in osteopathy department, and they are practicing as well as they are teaching. So it is definitely a new field, and we have a lot of opportunities in India actually. And yeah, it is going to be mainstream soon. So scope to काफी है, and if you want to give it a try, I would say that yes, go for it. है ना Gurpreet?
Yeah, I totally agree with you that there is a lot of scope of osteopathy in coming years in India, especially. So yeah, very rightly said. So next question we got is how osteopathy works with day-to-day acute diseases like cold, cough, malaria, typhoid, allergic disorders, diarrhea, dysentery, viral diseases, urinary disorders, renal and bile stones. So most of the diseases here mentioned are infectious disease. So it is a good idea to undergo suitable treatment which can provide you immediate result in such cases. Like acute infection, fractures and traumas, they need a very immediate prevention or cure. So, but however, if a person falling ill again and again, sick again and again, and quality of life is very poor, in those cases, osteopathy helps to regain its immunity level and thus prevents the disease to harm the person more.
Yeah, in short, improve the well-being, overall well-being of the person. This is what you mean, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly, Nikita. So, as we have seen a lot of cases of cold coughs and constant cold and coughs, allergies, they have constant allergies again and again. Yes. In those cases, osteopathy works very wonderful for them.
Yeah. I remember one person who came to me with consistent fever, and in spite of taking a lot of medication, the fever was not improving. He was having sinusitis issue, a lot of cough issue, cold issue, and he just came to me, and I treated him with lymphatics. That protocol is actually very nice, and I treated him with lymphatics, and there was so much change in him. On the table itself, he started sweating. And he just told me that his fever, after 2 days he called me and he told me that his fever was gone, his sinusitis was reduced. So yeah, in integration it definitely works.
Yeah, and also in children who fall sick again and again, they have cold, very affinity towards cold in different weathers again and again, allergic issues. Basically I have personally seen they have some birth-related traumas which is growing inside their bodies.
Exactly. I was about to
and that's how osteopathy works, to see those traumas and then help them healing faster with their cold and coughs. Yeah.
So exactly that was my point. In small babies, in small children, birth traumas are most of the time the cause for they are falling sick again and again. So when you mentioned in small kids, no, that was the time it hit me. That in small cases, small children, when we treat on the cranium and when we treat them, so it really helps. Good.
Then osteopathy works very fast in cases of children, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The next question is, what about chronic diseases like hypertension, asthma, rheumatoid disorders? Definitely, yes, we can treat hypertension in combination with medical therapy. Asthma, definitely yes. Rheumatoid disorders, inflammatory joint diseases, any kind we can treat. AIDS, cancer, fibroids, tumors, definitely yes, we can treat, but as a supporting therapy to other medical treatment, because in cases of cancer and tumors, patients undergo a lot of medical treatments like chemotherapy and radiation therapy, and there are a lot of side effects on the patient which actually hampers their immune system and which makes them weak and even cause a lot of stress and depression. So we can definitely treat them. We can help them in improving the quality of life. And I have personally seen a cancer patient where she was going through a lot of chemotherapy, and she was literally frustrated because the tumor was again and again developing in her body. And when I treated her with osteopathy, so there was no manipulation as such we do in cancer patients. We just approach them very biodynamically, a very holistic approach. And after taking 2 to 3 sessions, her quality of life was so much improved. She was really happy, and her body started responding very well actually. Yes, we can give this treatment as a supporting therapy to improve the overall well-being. Diabetes, yes, to certain extent, with medical treatment.
Even we have posted an Instana about the diabetic case history. There is one lady which came to me with diabetic history and lot of body pain, lot of other complaints related to diabetes. And yeah, osteopathy works with the integrated approach with other treatments very beautifully. Even the medicines was also very reduced. Even I have seen more cases about diabetes, and integrated approach works very beautifully for them.
Yeah. We have posted the case history actually on our Instagram page. You can just go and check out the entire case history and what are the pre and post results. We have even mentioned that. And about thyroid disorders, hormonal disorders, yes, we treat hormonal disorders. Leukorrhea, infertility, yes, we have treatment for viscerals. Abnormal presentation of baby in uterus during pregnancy, some osteopaths do. In abroad, there are like specialization. There is a specialization. There are osteopaths who are specialized to do this thing. So yeah, some osteopaths do. Genetic diseases to some extent, yes. Fracture, acute fractures, it is a red flag. So we don't treat acute fractures, but rehabilitation part, post surgery or post after removal of their cast, we definitely help in a lot of rehabilitation. Sprains and strains, definitely yes.
Yeah.
So there is another question about limitations of osteopathy. So yes, there are certain red flags which we have to follow, where osteopathy cannot be given as the first line of treatment or the only treatment, though it can be given in integration of other medical treatments or other ongoing treatments only if required. Like in case of acute infection or acute trauma, acute fractures, we cannot approach with osteopathy because they need immediate relief and immediate treatment as early as possible. And some other
malignancies, immediate traumas, yeah,
and surgical,
immediate scars, recent scars,
yeah, recent scars,
post-surgical.
Yeah. So
the scars basically. The scars are very much specialty of osteopaths. So the scars are basically post-surgically we have scars, and after recent time we can treat those scars and help prevent the backaches, which is the most common cause of after the pregnancy. Patients have come to us with the back pain and sciatica, and the cause is literally the scar which is not getting released after the.
I can elaborate a little about scar. So it is very interesting in osteopathy. We release scar, which I feel that it's very important, because what happens actually is there is something called as fascia in our body. Like how we have the outer skin, we have an inner skin which is continuous from top to bottom. And when we undergo any kind of surgery, whether it is C-section or whether it is some organ removal, any kind of surgery, that time what they do, they cut the fascia, they cut the muscle, and they stitch it up. So what happens when they stitch that area up, they stitch the fascia and muscle, and it becomes rigid, it becomes very stiff, and it starts pulling the fascia from here and there, which directly actually stops the movement there. And wherever the movement stops, it is going to give rise to pains here and there. So it is very common if you have a scar on your body, the nearby structures are going to get affected. I mean, you might develop stiffness there, you might have a lot of pain there, and that pain might not be coming from back. If you have some scar on your abdomen, but you have pain in the back, so that back pain can actually be coming from your abdomen because of the big scar you have. So it is very important that we release the scar. And definitely recent scars, no. immediately after the surgery, when the sutures are still intact, when it is fresh, we don't touch the sutures, we don't touch that area. But after some time, when the scar is completely healed, like chronic scars, we definitely have to release the scars to avoid further complications.
Yeah, very well said, Dr. Nikita. Yeah, yes, we have red flags where we have to see that whether we have to give the integrated approach or not. We cannot treat. It's depend upon the patient also and the osteopath also. Yeah, very well. That's the complete answer to this question.
A very important part here, actually.
Yeah.
So this is the last question for today's video. What is the admission criteria and eligibility for this course? So Sri Sri University right now is the only university in India which gives a full-time campus-based program for both bachelor's and master's. And eligibility for bachelor's is you have to complete 12th science with biology. You have to appear NEET and give Sri Sri University's entrance exam. For master's program, you have to come from either MBBS background, Ayurveda, physiotherapy or dentistry. So you should complete your graduation in any of these fields, and then you can directly apply for masters in osteopathy, and just by giving a small entrance exam. So yeah, that is the eligibility.
For the admission procedures and details, we have put the link down below of the website of the Sri Sri University. You can go and check it out.
So that is it for today, guys. हम लोग ने काफी लंबी छोटी वीडियो बना ली because we wanted to give adequate and proper information about osteopathy. And even if still you have any further questions, you can anytime email us, and or you can put it in the comment section. We will answer it. So
do like, share, and comment our video, and don't forget to subscribe it.
Yes. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.